Welcome to Let's Play Rule the Waves 3 as Germany starting in 1935. It's November 1947 and we are in the bottom of the Norwegian Sea / top of the North Sea fighting a convoy battle. Well, convoy because a lot of the transports have already been sunk and we have achieved our goal of sinking more than 6 transports. Currently, we have our 3 carrier groups over here, about 45 nautical miles away, keeping out of the way. We have a couple of cruisers detached from their screen, helping to chase away these couple of British cruisers, although they didn't take much effort to chase, really. They kind of went to the sound of the gunfire down in all here. We have our 3 battle cruisers here with a 4th von der Tann just over here. And we have our heavy cruisers over here. And we have some light cruisers over there. So we kind of got them on 3 sides. They have, aside from these couple of cruisers, they have some light cruisers here, which have turned away, and some heavy cruisers, 10 inches, so, you know, reasonably serious over here. A couple of French light cruisers down here who were screening the convoy. There are a few merchant ships milling around here. There's some British destroyers dotted around the place, and obviously they are a bit of a concern. The time is 1:30 in the afternoon, and dusk, if I remember rightly, is about 3:15 in the afternoon, these being northern climes in winter, and the amount of daylight you get is tiny. The wind is from the southwest heading northeast, so the carriers, when they do their air launching, will head down into the southwest, which is a nice thing. Obviously, Norway is off to the east over here, not very far. And yeah, we have a couple more hours of daylight. And then we have a decision about whether we want to / are able to have a night engagement. The amount of time lapsed is tiny. I'm seeing only 97 out of 900. And at that rate, we could have a long night ahead of us. Just really is it worth the risk? The gain is we get to splatter these 3 heavy cruisers. That would be quite a substantial knock for the navies. You know, not as big as battle cruisers and stuff, but, you know, if it was good enough for the Battle of Matapan, it's good enough for me. The question, still unanswered, is there off to the east, between where we are and where Norway is, are there battle cruisers and carriers operating? There have been several reports. Let me just zoom out. And we're just waiting. For example, over there, wherever that is a carrier. That was supposed to be a battle cruiser and a CV, so that's clearly wrong. Another light carrier here, probably wrong. 2 battle cruisers and CVs. So it looks like air reconnaissance is mistaking merchant ships, perhaps oil tankers, to be carriers, in which case these heavy cruisers are mine if I don't, you know, mess up completely. So that's where we're up to. Let's plow on and be cautiously daring. There's a video title if I ever heard. So you can see they're just moving away, which is great. Z14 had trouble a long time ago and is somewhere. Let's just go find them. Oh yeah, they're up to the north here. If we have a little look, yeah, they're not flooding. So they, you know, one medium hit in the engine room and boom. So but I'm hopeful. Let me just bring the speed down. The weather is fine, by the way. The wind is calm. The weather is clear. We've got a daylight range of 33,000 yards which is huge. So I want to send it just up to Bergen there and keep it out of the way. It is a very old destroyer, but, you know, I'm not one of these admiral who just willy-nilly throws away destroyers like they're disposable or something. You know who you are. So, yeah, that's all going fine. I'm just going to check out what we have in terms of strike availability. So for Flug 1, not a lot currently. Flug 2 does have stuff, and quite a lot of that stuff is ready. Let me just filter that up to 3 planes. So, yeah, I could launch that, and I could launch that at these heavy cruisers. And let's give it a BB priority, even though they're not really. So if we select the ready and we coordinate, so if we coordinate, they will strike in the nighttime and they will land in the nighttime. It's pretty useful. The black here indicates a nighttime attack and nighttime landing. The gray indicates dusk and the white is daytime. So actually that's quite helpful. So if we deselect the von Passeval, you can see, oh, it's not white, it's green for daytime. We can get in there at 2:45, so half an hour before dusk, and land at 3. So that seems fine. So I'm going to launch that as a strike. And yeah, let's do that one. And then we can do the other carrier, similar kind of time, launch them. So that's where we are. Oh, and then there's the lone one. Plenty of fighters, which is nice. And I'm tempted, given that we've not really seen any stuff. Hang on a second. Let's look at the aircraft data. I've selected the squadron. Where was it? Aircraft data. So the Henschels, they can come in with a heavy 1,000-pound bomb. So I think I want to do that. I'm going to make them heavy and launch them at the same. They'll come in just slightly after, but that should be fine. So let's launch. So yes. Right, so that's the carriers taken care of. These light cruisers, I'm tempted to send the Von der Tann. Oh, right. So I was using the Von der Tann to just join onto the rear of the other 3 battle cruisers, tempting to bring it round this way. Let's have a look at this chap. He's all on his own, but he has torpedoes. So let's send him up and look at these guys. Yeah, I'm going to send them up to deal with these as well. These guys only have 2 torpedoes left and they've taken a bit of a battering. So yeah, I'm taking them out of the battle. We've got Gneisenauer and stuff. So they can chase down. They've got a couple of fresh destroyers. Let me go to the division. They should be forming up into something a little bit more constructive. And we have the München here, and its 2 friends. We have the Algiers, which is down at 10 knots, and this Algiers, which is at heavy damage. So I'm just going to fold over. I would like to get at these merchants, but I'm sure they will come in the fullness of time. So a hit on München, but nothing too much to worry about. So some hits on an Usk. And yeah, just trying to see any of that action. I'd like the Graf Spee actually to target the people they're targeting. So, okay, that works for me. And the Von der Tan can come in. That's also targeting the Good Hope, but I want to open it arcs. We've got these boys who for some reason aren't doing line ahead, as you were told. And we have these couple. That all seems to be fine. So some hits from the 9-inch guns from Gneisenau and Scharnhorst. So good shooting chaps on that side. So we have a Dickey classic pincering going on. I do like a good pincer. It really helps to overwhelm. Let's bring, they've got to turn together. That's why they're going. So let's cross the T there and we'll drive this one up in that direction. I wonder if I put this on AI, whether it will just join the back of the line or just go some weird place all on its own. So a little bit of a damage to Königsberg, so München and Königsberg both, taking a bit of hits. I am really close. I mean, stupidly close. 5,000 yards. I could pull that out ever so slightly. And yes. Oh, well. Lucky me. Let's hear it for dud torpedoes. I think that's nature's way of saying I need to pull back slightly. Whoops, I did München a little bit too much. Do these Algiers? Yes, they do have 6 torpedo tubes, brackets, AW? I don't know what that means. That reloads or something? Don't know what AW means. If you know, please pop it in the comments. And then we will take Von der Tan, take it off AI, get that to perhaps go this way. And in fact, with the Graf Spee and the others, they will turn together. And yeah, lose the torpedo dud thing. We don't want that. Thank you. So that was a bit of a get out of jail free card. Well done, British dud torpedo manufacturing. You don't see that, actually, as a message very often. Just saying. Just checking where everything is. Yep, they all seem fine. There's Z14 going back to home. Who's this? This, of course, is the Prinz Eugen, which is supporting and under AI control, and yet seems to be avoiding battle by every means possible. So more good hits, primarily from the heavy cruisers. I mean, I like a good heavy cruiser hit and stuff. These don't seem to be suffering too much. So I'm going to bring back the battle cruisers and take that out of stuff. And yeah, let's just zoom in here because we're really super close, but they are in heavy damage. I don't suppose we have torpedoes. No, we're all completely used, but we are pummeling them. And so a bit of pummeling goes a long way, I think. Oh, someone's done a torpedo. So yeah, Breslau wallops it, Scharnhorst, Blucher, Gneisenau, and the Stauffenberg gets a hit on a Bacchante, which is good. So that all seems fine. I'll just get a picture of where all of their forces are so that I can do a bit of better planning. I really find this helps with these kind of melee battles, just to code it. So the red are the heavy cruisers. So you can clearly see they are getting away a little bit. So I need to bring my battle cruisers down into this kind of direction. The blues are the light cruisers, so they're not really being any difficulty. Couple here, you can see our destroyers have launched some torpedoes at them. Kind of a lucky angle if they get anything out of that, but you know, keep them on their toes. The greens are the destroyers, so you can see the destroyers are mainly on the disengaged side of the battle cruisers, which is the side I like. Obviously a big group here, and yeah, so I think for me, a couple of merchants probably stopped and dead in the water, and a few more there, so I'm only seeing 5 remaining merchant ships. I mean, we've hit the goal, but you know, everyone is good. So I think for my light cruisers, I will want to bring them around, increase the range a little bit, and for obviously I've got some light cruisers just off, still coming this way. For the heavy cruisers, they're doing a good job, so I'm fine with that. We might just take them out. These are heading, so far as I can tell, they are heading this way, whereas these are heading that way. These are heading in that kind of way. So just something to be aware of, while these, I think, are going that way and that way. So as you can see, they're making no coherent sense whatsoever. As I said, we need to stay cautiously daring. We only have a couple of hours. It would be great to sink these heavy cruisers. So let's plow on. So yeah, we're engaging them. The range is 19,000, just under 20,000 yards. So yeah, we want to bring them just a little bit closer. The range here is a nice, healthy 10,000 yards. So we might just open that out, particularly, they do have their turrets all facing. I'm not sure if the others do. No, the Blucher doesn't, and the Sharnos. So just open it out to open up the arcs of the turrets. That would be good. And I said I was going to bring these round. I have no idea what this Algier on fire. I mean, it's probably out of control. I don't want it to do something, you know, medieval like ram me or something like that. So here we can see hit on Königsberg, one on one of the conquests. I mean, that could be, there's one there, there's a couple here. Ploughing into the Algiers. Another hit on a conquest from the Scharnhorst, and a hit on Bucanti from Blucher, and on an Algiers from Reichsgraf. I'm not sure I approve that. Let's just check that they are shooting at who I want them to be shooting at. Yep, okay. So let's just bring that round. Z26, let's check. So they're just here. Yeah, they just got a bit close to these light cruisers. My light cruisers, shooting at them. I'm not entirely sure I approve of that. I think I would much rather them shoot at someone else, but there's to be anybody else to shoot at, apparently, even though these are only 15,000 yards away. Okay, if you say so. Let's take these guys out. And these guys. Still tempted to use the Von der Tann. Let me see if they can spot these chaps. Yeah, they're only 12,000 yards away, so I think Von der Tann, I'll ask it to see if we can't beat up these guys. They don't have torpedoes, 5-inch guns, so they're not very useful. I mean, these Derwents are probably better, or I should say more dangerous. But yeah, use the Von der Tann just for a little bit. Right, let's take it off AI and send it slightly that way. Just see if, yep, okay, let's see if we can engage that. So Gneisenau, München, Königsberg. These are all turning together. I want them to turn in sequence. These are still ploughing away. All seems to be good. 18,000 yards. Let's just bring that in a bit. And hitting the merchant ships with their 5-inch guns. That's fine. Breslau hitting Algiers as Königsberg. All good stuff. Need some of the big boys to do some hits, please. Are we spoiling the aim here by going around in circles? We're still firing, 2.5 to nearly 4%. I mean, that's a good hit chance. How are we doing? Nearly 5% from the Von der Tern. Yeah, let's see some hits, shall we? I would like some hits. And here we have some planes arriving. It's 1:45. Let's see if they managed to do anything. Scharnhorst hit in the conning tower. Ouch. Won't be enjoying that. So the Graf Spee hits on the Good Hope. So that will be painful. 16-inch gun, never popular. Königsberg and friends still pummeling this Algiers. 5 knots. I mean, that's not long for this world. Still firing at the heavy cruisers. We're down to 16,000 yards, so I'm kind of happier with that. But still not seeing any hits. Oh, aside from one from the Stauffenburg. So well done, Stauffenburg. And some more planes going in. So, yes, more merchant ships hits with 5-inch guns. A hit by Stauffenburg and a hit by the Reichsgraf. So, yeah, these are going to be starting to get a bit ouchy. It's the technical term. Just checking the damage reports, light, medium, and that's the Usk. I don't care about that. And medium. So yeah, they're reporting medium damages. Let's just check how my boys here are doing in the heavy cruisers. So they've had to shift to light cruisers. So let's just bring them a little bit more further south. The Von der Tern, haven't seen it. Oh, and a couple of bomb hits. So that's nice. Good to see. Firing at an unidentified. So let's put it up there. I mean, I don't believe that report. So, yeah. Whether they've had a go at these destroyers or something. Unidentified. Just checking for green blobs. Can't see any green blobs. See again. Carrier, or 2 carriers. I mean, that's not true. We would have seen them. So, yeah. Okay. Let's keeping on. Come on, Von der Tern. Let's teach these boys a lesson. Medium damage. Not getting a report on the second one. That's what we like to see. Von der Tern, 10 15-inch guns at a champion class, straddled, 5 hits. Yes, that's very much. And then a couple of 5 inches just to round out the experience. So well done, Von der Tern. Von der Tern was the previous lead gunnery ship of the battlecruisers, which it lost, I think, to the Reichsgraf after the Reichsgraf's excellent performance in the previous battle. And we've got torpedo bombers on an unidentified ship. Don't know what that is. Oh dear, 1 aircraft destroyed and 2 aircraft damaged. And another aircraft damaged. 4 aircraft out of 3. That's very good. Ouchie. Oh dear. Poor old torpedo bombers. Yeah, that's very much. So now the heavy cruisers have come perilously close to 12,000 yards. Let's straighten out the battle cruisers. And let's zoom in. There's this group of destroyers over here that I'm not really that keen to deal with. There are some merchant ships in and amongst, but I'm not really bothered with that. I'm just going to speed up the heavy cruisers. They seem to be slightly losing contact. So let's do this. These may have to turn away, the light cruisers, but we'll see what happens with that. We might be going a little bit too fast, so I'm going to bring the battle cruisers down to 25. The Von der Tann appears to have switched to the Conquest and scored 3 hits. I salute you, Von der Tann. I mean, it's a 10% chance of hitting at 7,000 yards. This is what happens when you don't give a light cruiser a torpedo tube. Even one would make me be a little bit more respectful, but none, I'm, very much not impressed. So, yeah. Let's go for another minute. Medium merchant hit by a torpedo, well, and another. Not sure that was entirely necessary, but and indeed, who knows where it was from. I hope it wasn't from us. I mean, from the battle cruisers. Because I think they do have... I can't remember. No, they don't. Well, at least the Graf Spee doesn't. And the Reichskraft does. So, maybe. So the Graf Spee gets 6 hits on the Good Hope. The Staffenburg gets 3 hits on a Bacchante. The Reichsgraf gets 2 on the Good Hope. The Reichsgraf wallops a destroyer. Breslau hits an Algiers. Bremen hits a Conquest. Von der Tann hits a Conquest, which is the second of those. So that's heavy damage on fire, and then this one is heavy damage and also has gone down to 5 knots. So I'm tempted to bring the Von der Tann down because I think its work there is done. Well done, Von der Tann. There's even a couple of destroyers heading towards them. Graf Spee hits the Good Hope again. Reichsgraf hits the Good Hope again. Medium 5 knots. And light damage on fire 20 knots, medium damage 5. So, yeah, this all seems to be going very well. I'm just going to bring the light cruisers down. There are a couple of destroyers heading their way. These boys are still tackling these light cruisers up here. This is all working out fine. Von der Tann struggles but misses. Gneisenau hits the destroyer, Reichsgraf, Algiers, and this is just with their 5-inch guns. Another 16-incher on a Bacchante from Graf Spee. Let's continue to bring the Von der Tann round. Very much it's done. Scharnhorst is starting to run out of ammo, but that's fine. It's just coming up to 2 o'clock, as I said. So an hour and 15 minutes. I think we can wrap this up in an hour and 15 minutes. I probably should just check on the whole strike situation. So for Flug 1, if we set the target to these boys, that's 15 miles away. I'm giving it BBs. There aren't any BBs. I could do the transports, but that's fine. Then, so let me select ready. There are none ready. So let me select you and you and you and you. I'm going to make them actually all heavy because there is no air so far as I can see. And I'm going to make that a launch strike. They will land at dusk, which is fine. Yep, yep, and yep. And if we go to Fluke 2, I doubt they have very well. Yeah, okay. They've got some stuff. So let's select all of them. Let's go. Oh, they've got a guided missile in there, so we're happy with that. And then ditto launch strike with them. And then finally, these boys. And yeah, I don't see any reason not to. So let's launch strike at them as well. I mean, none and none. So line 2 has 6 float planes. I mean, you know. Yeah, let's just be silly. We can only launch 2 anyhow. So Stauffenberg is hitting the Bucanti. This is the Reichsgraf. And yeah, all good stuff. Let's just zoom in slightly. Bring the von der Tann around to complete its 180 degree. So good hits from Stauffenberg and Reichsgraf. Graf Spee hits a little light cruiser, apparently. Oh, with 5-inch guns, that's fine. Yep, they're completely dead in the water. So not liking these boys. So I'm probably going to do turn together and a turn away, as is traditional under these circumstances. Just keeping an eye on these, seeing what they're doing. Bremen and Danzig can just circle around this champion class. We're still popping at it with the von der Tann. Obviously, all that big turning put off its aim, but that might sort itself out a little bit. We've got Z28. They're looking unhappy with the fire, so I'm just going to check on that. Yeah, so I'm just going to bring the speed down and send it north. And I think this one also, how's this one doing? Yeah, that's had some flotation damage. Let's bring that one down as well. And send that north too. And Z62 seems perfectly fine. So, and it's chasing these, well, chasing might be a strong word. It's also engaging these couple of destroyers up here. Not to forget them. Yeah, watching these destroyers, they're turning away. Turning away is a good thing. I like a good bit of turning away. These destroyers, okay, they're coming for us a bit more, but they're not in a torpedo launching kind of a thing. On the turn, still walloping over there. I'm gonna send it north. Well, I'm gonna send it east, slightly north. Still walloping these guys, which is absolutely fine. I may have to turn the battle cruisers away once we get there, but that's fine. Yeah, so Bacante, and Good Hope are all stationary. Yep. So we don't have to fire at them anymore, people. So let's see if we can come up with a better target. Don't normally approve of shooting at destroyers, but I would like them to feel the wrath. But yeah, which pretty good for ammo, actually. And that's absolutely fine. I'm surprised. So let them shift targets, let them come round here. Let's get München still being chased, which is fine. Enemy Derwent hit by a torpedo up there. Oh, okay, well done. I'm gonna give that to you, 63 or maybe 62, but yeah, well done. 62, I'm going to call it. 63 still has most of its torpedoes. Good stuff. I know some of you may say, oh, it could have been a plane, could have been going. Yeah, no, it could have been, but, you know, let's not worry about that too much. Nice, now down to 50%. These destroyers. So I'm going to take the Gneisenau and stuff in that kind of direction. Brush past this Tartar, and I'm going to get these destroyers to get a bit jiggy. Technical term. Because they don't seem to have been doing too much, and let them have a proper go at these destroyers. These light cruisers are dead in the water, so we can tell this slot to stop shooting at them. But there's nothing else to do, so we're going to hold fire for 10 minutes for these. Van der Tan doesn't need to do that either. We've got some more targets. Now, there is these merchant ships. I mean, you know, why not? We've got there down to an Algier, some of these destroyers. A BB division of 2 ships. No, it's a Persian class. Okay, let's go for the Persians and see what we can manage with them. These Persians do have a lot, okay, of torpedo tubes. The conquests, none. So respect to the Persians. Let's straighten out München, Breslau, and Königsberg. Oh, bums. Okay, that's nature's way of telling us to pull out the heavy cruisers and obviously to disengage the Gneisenau itself. I'd be upset if I lost a heavy cruiser. How is we doing for the flooding? 423. I mean, we're good at damage control, but I'm going to say that's going to be very tricky, very tricky. I might make that dead in the water just to. So I was obviously too tardy and too late with these 2 destroyer squadrons to have a pop at these. Blucher, yeah, turn away together. Ouchie. So, Conquest hit by a torpedo. Which one is that? So that's up here somewhere. Okay, otherwise, many ships hit. Just remind myself where the carriers have gone. They're up there. I'm going to send them northeast. I don't know why it's going quite so slow. And yeah, all of this still very spread out. So it's this Persian that is the big danger. These conquests are of no consequence. And of course, the destroyers are the ones that really matter. Oh, conquest hit. Well done, Z88. Where is Z88. Z88's back here. Meanwhile, straddling, Von der Tann has hit the Persian with a 15-inch gun. Seems like goodness to me. Don't like this Usk being so close. So let's turn together and turn away. I don't know why Breslau has suddenly decided. They're both shooting at the Usk. Let's put that there and make them support the München. Let's see if that does anything. Happy with the Von der Tann. Still avoiding torpedoes for the Z88. Good rudder work there. So, but Z88 walloping one of these Derwents. Very heavily engaged. More hits on the Good Hope, which is superfluous. So yeah, let's get that all out of the way. I think my battlecruiser's just launched, a torpedo. So yeah, and French destroyers over there. I'm not liking that. So let's punch up the speed. Yep. There we go. Just the final strike. The final strike is in there. Now, given the heavy cruisers are mashed up, I'm going to send them towards the merchant ships.